Looks like he's waking up. Come on. Stop slacking. We gotta get him in the city before they call the lockdown.
Pace yourself, boy. We just need to get him to the clock tower, safe and sound, and then we'll be rosy.
Where's this cart going?
Baker's in Stone Market.
Was I talking to you? Hey! Get moving! Fucking beggars.
Makes you miss the old watch.
The voices! Stop the nightmares!
The gloom's getting worse.
Everywhere except Oldale. Someone should do something.
Nobody gives a shit about us, boy. You'll learn that soon enough.
All he cares about is progress! You want to see more of these bloody pipes everywhere?
You are the boss! That's enough!
Do you? That's not food for our bellies! That's not medicine for the sick! You don't think you're safe because you got a job shoveling shit for the rich! The Baron has a noose for every one of us! But change is coming! Orion is going to bring change! The Baron will burn! See? See? They're scared of the truth!
Keep your head down.
You there! Who are you speaking with? Stop!
Something's not right. I'll make it to the clock tower, clear my head.
Don't let him get away!
I'm right behind you, scum!
What's up, ladies and gents? I'm your host, CenterStrain01, and we are back with Thief, the Master Stealth walkthrough. Hopefully you're enjoying it so far. We are at mission number 1. I've had a little bit of time with this mission, and there are some very difficult parts that are up ahead, but I will do my best to make sure that we can get through them perfectly stealthy. I love a good challenge. Again, I will always try to go around and pick up as many items as I can, so you guys can get the most out of this game as well. And I will be saving at certain parts, just in case, like when I enter new areas and stuff like that, I want to make sure that I find everything that I possibly can. Of course, my other goal is to make sure that I don't ever have to use food items or things of that nature. And I don't want to use my focus ability as well. I will probably use it in some certain instances, but if I can figure something out for myself or try to be as stealthy as possible without using it, then that, of course, is the goal.
Hear all, hear all! Traitors' Gate closed till morning, by Baron's decree.
Sense of disorder, locking ourselves in. Guess that's why I'm not a politician.
Stops the poor going where they shouldn't. Don't need the commons making a bad situation worse. Hey, hey, hey! Where do you think you're going? Lockdown!
Shutting the city up like this won't stop the gloom spreading. We're only sitting on the coffin lid.
Sitting on it and getting paid for it.
You can smell
The watch have locked down Stone Market. But when did I ever let a lock hold me back?
Of course, make sure you shut doors, as guards will go to those doors. And of course, we don't want to give ourselves away.
I'm not feeling all that well.
Oh, was that ever so freaking close.
streets are so quiet now.
Night's going on forever.
Now, what do we have here?
Nice. Awesome. That was great.
You just bought me another day in this pit.
Again, I'm not expecting to get 100% of all items, but I definitely want to give you guys at least some knowledge of where some things are that you may not normally know. Secret places and whatnot.
The claw's fairly quiet when used the right way. Aaron made this thing sound noisier than it is.
You have to hold down the R2 when you're trying to set the pin. You can't just press it, and that might throw some people off. So just remember that too if you're playing the PlayStation 4 version, or it's probably the same way for all versions. I still believe the PC version is the easiest to control because using the mouse and keyboard, I think, suits this game really, really well. And remember, we won't have access to a lot of items that you would normally see on a normal walkthrough since this is Master.
Hero! Stonecutter's Court closed for the night. No thoroughfare.
What are you looking at?
Price on that jeweled mask. Be enough to feed 100 squawking mouths for a year.
Don't you go catching a conscience now. Worse than the suicide sentence.
I can cut through the jewelers to get around these gates. Besides, that mask sounds interesting.
Alright, so here we go. It's a good place to save because we have a huge area here to explore.
Damn lights are still on a blink. Anyone left who knows how to fix these frigging things?
Good luck finding a guildsman whose fingers ain't broke.
Trying to see where I can actually jump down.
Something happens tonight.
Drinks at the station come last bell.
I really feel like in this game you can move like a super stealthy thief. I especially love this swoop button. And it does explain things a little bit because if you think about it, you know, in the beginning you were caught in that kind of a massive, you know, spectacular kind of a science fiction-y little magical thing, whatever you want to call it. But it gives reason for you being able to move around as quickly as possible. Ooh. Felt like that thing was gonna fall. Looks like that's about it in this area. Alright, I don't see anything else. Obviously you can see some wanted posters. We'll try to check those out too. Read some of the art and stuff that's on the walls. And go secret ways, of course. That's how all good stealth masters do it. Remember, with civilians, you don't have to worry about them actually seeing you, as they are not the enemy. Sweet, that's awesome. Some food. I see some stuff on the ground here. And I see another newspaper. The Citizen. Of course, you guys can read this. The clock tower stops again. It's kind of like from Back to the Future. The chief engineer owned gears during the tower's construction. Clock tower stalked its claim of infamy. New map, sweet. Oh yes, a little bit of a back way. That's awesome. Again, we'll still make sure, even when we go to certain areas, that we backtrack a little bit. So even if I find a certain way to get around an area, I still will probably go back and make sure I collect everything from all of the areas as much as possible. And of course, all this is familiar if you've actually watched any of the walkthroughs for the developers. We know that there's a lot of different ways that you can go about and into here. You can see, you can climb this, shimmy around, and then there's a open window. If you look in here, there's a guy in there, but we're not going to enter just yet, as I want to make sure that I've collected everything on the outside of the jewelry store before we continue. And I'll try to get better at picking locks. Maybe I'll choose some of the things that help me pick locks a little better as well. Now, as you can see, there's a thing that you could drop on one of the guards right there, which is pretty cool. So if you wanted to, say, be a little bit more kind of a badass and kill the enemies, then that's one way you could do it. Perfect. There's another way into the jewelry store, but we're not going to choose that way. You can actually go through the front door of the jewelry store, which is really funny. It's actually really hard to do, but it's so satisfying if you can do it. Now remember, there is a civilian in here. He's right over in that area, so...
Few guards, residents upstairs. Stealing the mask shouldn't be a problem. Let's see now.
Cousin, I half expect us to join the piles of St. Louis, laughing about right uptown. Let us pray that it does not. I have a delicate proposition from which we could both benefit richly. Salda's still not ready. Well, benefit richly. So for the madam, I made a gilded copy, set with the very finest glass, befitting a whoremonger. regards to grave holes. Works my fingers to the bone. Yes. The real money is in the original piece. I'll keep close in my workshop till you find a buyer outside this reeking city.
Now, before I continue...
An original and a copy. A nice scam, Lygrove. Good of you to write it down for me.
As you can see, he just kind of gave us a little bit of a hint, but no one can see me from here. I wanted to make sure that he didn't see that actual kind of candle not being lit up anymore.
Dishonest work gives me a ball ache.
Alright, so as you can see, we've got a combination. But if you actually look, we picked up a document over there. And you can see what the combination is. 739. That's why it always pays to make sure you grab as much as possible. Alright, let's see how we do this. Switch and turn.
Extravagant than my usual masks. One for the collection. Never know when I'll be invited to a ball.
So lucky enough, we're still invisible enough to where he doesn't actually see us. And I do apologize for talking over that voice there. I'll try not to. I mean, that is my goal. I don't see any more shiny items. However, we're still going to look in some of the things. Got to be really fast because I don't believe he stays in that position on the right very long. He's more in the position on the left a lot longer. So all we have left to do is search these two right here.
Freezing.
Ooh, just in time, man. I love those in the nick of time. That's why I really do like this kind of swoop option that you can do. Alright, I think we're ready to continue.
It's getting late.
Perfume alone can't mask the city's stench.
Try to stick in the shadows as much as possible. Okay.
Doesn't understand how.
If he's got this on show, what else has he got locked away?
This damned city.
I hate that friggin' bird. Goes crazy every time someone makes a noise.
Alright, so that means there's some type of bird in the area we're going to watch out for as well, so we're going to be extra careful. Now the game does a great job as far as sound goes. However, I think it makes a little too much sound in its defense whenever you're actually trying to be stealthy. As you can see, a little bit too much sound is going on. You can hear very, very well my footsteps, and it makes you think that that guard should be able to hear it as well. Now your aiming here has to be precise, as it only appears for a very short time. And I'm going to try to make sure I don't mess up, because I'm sure if I mess up, this guard is going to wake up. Again, if you're playing this on the PC, it is a lot easier. Very precise here. I can only imagine how it's going to be in the actual master customization, where you don't have these little prompts to help you.
I'll take this.
I can check out what this little bracelet is here. And leave no stone unturned.
All these beauties. I'd lift one myself if I didn't need the job.
I'm getting sick. I know it.
We're going to wait